everything. Okay, let's go to Brad and let's talk about actual people.
All right. This film is made by and written by this person who stars in it. Her name's Kit Zauhar. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly. And it's about a person who's finishing up college in New York, and she's done very well in her college career. But in the last weeks and months of college, she's sort of fallen apart because I think she's terrified of adult life after college. She's really settled in to school and the patterns and routines of social life there, and she's done very well in her academics. But as she winds toward graduation, she starts to sort of have bad grades. Her relationship with her high school boyfriend that she came to school with falls apart. He begins dating a woman he met at college and dumps her. And she's sort of desperately casting about for any kind of sense of normalcy she can find. She tries to hook up with a guy who's been her roommate, who is from her hometown, hoping she can talk him into moving back to the hometown with her. And it's an interesting character study in how this person who seems supremely confident and has navigated a really challenging college career is coming apart at the seams as the specter of adult life looms. And she also there's some interesting commentary around her reaching out for help to the school and to counselors, and everyone's position is sort of, if this had come up while you were here during the 4 years, we probably could have helped you. But now that we're in the home stretch, there's very little we can do. There's no, all of your counseling credits and time has been used up. No one is really offering her any help. She begins to alienate her friends and sort of spirals into drugs and alcohol, which really displeases her parents, particularly given that she's biracial. Her mother is Asian, and she's got a lot of expectation around how she presents and, the sort of impression she makes. And to add insult to injury, she starts to drag her little sister sort of along with her. The sister sort of insists on coming in some of these parties and some of the events, but they have some particularly bad experiences where her sister gets in trouble. And so the parents are unhappy with her, and everyone's generally unhappy with her. And so the film winds up being about her journey to trying to figure out, how she can graduate and make this all work and get back on track. There's not a lot of context. I couldn't find a lot of context about the filmmaker nor about the sources for the film, but she called the movie Actual People. So I think that may be a hint. It's not documentary in nature, but it feels like she wrote about what she knew, which is always the right way to go. And there's a couple of points in the film where you're kind of wondering if it's going to break into violence or someone's going to do something. But the fact is, and whether this is generational or just this particular group of people, nobody's likely to do anything. There's very little doing. There's just a whole bunch of talking, and everyone's upset, and everyone walks out of the room. And it's that kind of aesthetic, where you can say pretty much anything, and then the most that's going to happen is the person's going to leave the room. So that's I found it a moving and affecting film. Where I am on the timeline takes me decades away from that kind of experience. So it's interesting to me to see how people are grappling with the transition into adulthood now, and some of the problems people are running into. So, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is her first film. She wrote it, directed, and starred in it. And if being a filmmaker is what she wants to do, I think she's got a good, really bright future there.
Nice. Cool.
I was going to say, we talked earlier about the feel of Sundance. I mean, I get the sense that there is that indie feel to the film.
Yeah, it's super low budget. She pulled it together however she could and made the film.
And drama-wise as well. I mean, you talked a lot about, she talks how she feels. Again, what was the nature of the discussion?
She talks about, she actually talks around how she feels quite a bit. It's all very in the moment and existential. When she gets to the counselors, she's trying to, get help, and she's trying to express that things have gone off the rails for her, but she doesn't say it so directly. it's all about actions and what do I do next, and less about how I feel about this and how this is impacting me emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So there seems to be sort of a prohibition against saying directly how you're feeling in that moment, and maybe someone will get frustrated and shout it out, but generally speaking, it's all leading up to, leading questions and conversations that sort of hint around at how people are feeling.
Yeah,
and
I mean, we all do that.
Yes.
Yeah, we all do that where we act and we don't know why we do it. We don't know what it is
Right.
within us that causes us to do things the way we do it.
Or we do know, and we're not about to tell anyone.
Yeah, or don't want to confront it.
Right. And I don't know how scripted the film is, because it feels like a lot of it could be improv, but it's very authentic. It's very real sounding conversations with all those sort of pauses. Typically scripts are hyper real language that gets you to the next thing quickly. This one doesn't feel that way. This feels like a natural flow of conversation.
Mm-hmm.